Hey guys, it's Cal, so I just wanted to tell you about a really cool device which I received and how we can all help the doctors and nurses which are fighting coronavirus. So in my whole school system, there are a bunch of 3D printers that people use regularly. I think there's actually a 3D printer club that they use it for. 3D printers are awesome. They can also be very useful, but they're really cool to watch and build awesome little plastic pieces with. But then when schools canceled for coronavirus, all these 3D printers were spread out across the town and they weren't even being used. And people realized that we could use them to print off stuff to help out doctors and nurses fighting the coronavirus. A friend of my mom is involved in the town. She received several 3D printers. She thought of her friends and all the kids that would enjoy using 3D printers. So she distributed a bunch of them to people across the town, including us. We've had it for 3 or 4 days, and it's a lot of fun. I've seen 3D printers before and have dreamed of having one, or at least using it. And finally, my dreams have come true. All that was left was to figure out what to print out and what would be useful to the doctors and nurses. Doctors and nurses have to wear those masks for 6 to 8 or even more hours a day, and eventually it starts digging into their ears back here. It would probably even blister you if you were wearing them that long. So people thought up this problem by designing things that you could print off with a 3D printer that would help fix that problem with your ears. And here's the device they came up with. This thing's really cool looking, especially with the gold filament that we got to use. The loops that go around your ear connect to this part, and you put this back here on the back of your head, and the loops that go around your ears can just clip onto this. I think it's a really cool idea. I never would have thought it would have been such a problem, but it is. And it's great that I get to help solve that. The time lapse you guys just saw was 35 minutes long. That's how long it takes to make 4 of these. Yeah, 4 at a time. It's really cool. And after it's done, you take this little platform off and you gotta... Oh, and you gotta... That one flew right off. And there's special devices you gotta use to take these off the platform. Sticks on a little bit. You gotta use these thin tools to make sure they don't snap. Then this thing is good again for the next run. We used up almost a whole wheel of black filament. This is how many we've done. We're almost at 250 of these clips, actually. It's been about 3 days, too. To give you some scale, these are actually in stacks of 25. Surprisingly, it hasn't taken very long to make 200 of these things. It's crazy what a long way some work can do. In a few weeks, we'll probably have bins of these. Hopefully. So what does this all mean? I'll tell you. I had heard about people doing masks and making other things for doctors and nurses, but I never thought I would do something like that. Thanks to Mrs. Quealy, I did. And thank you very much, Mrs. Quealy, for thinking of me. I truly appreciate it, and I'm glad I got to work with a 3D printer. But if it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't have done anything like this. So guys, if you're at home and you're not already doing something like this, start small. Maybe make a mask, or a dozen, and then send them to a hospital with a nice note. Even that is helpful. It can inspire and bring hope to those who are on the front lines. Now, you don't have to go as far as making 1,000 of these things by hand, but try to think of those who are working really hard. Alright, so now that I've shown you the 3D printer making this, I've actually never made anything but these clips, so I'm going to try making something else. Let's go do it. Alright guys, so as you just witnessed, I printed off this. It's a bishop chess piece. Looks really cool. It's so epic that the 3D printer could do this. If I wanted to, I could probably make a full set of chess pieces out of this thing. I'm very impressed with the 3D printer. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.